all to enlighten us on Srimad Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, are you on the call?
Yes, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. I am here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for joining the call, Prabhuji, and giving your valuable association. You can take over the call, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatir uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Vasudeva para veda Vasudeva paramaka Vasudeva para veda Vasudeva parakriya Vasudeva param jnanam Vasudeva param tapa Vasudeva paro dharma Vasudeva paragati. Hare Krishna. We are continuing our study of Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam. We will be studying 3 verses today. Canto 4, Chapter 4, verses 6, 7 and 8. We will stop at verse number 8 today. So this is the description of what happens when Mother Sati disobeys the instructions of her exalted husband, Lord Shiva, and goes to the house of her father, Daksha. Abrahma ghoshita yadhyavaishasham. Abrahma ghoshorjita yadhyavaishasham. Viprarshi jushtam vibhudesha sarvashaha mridarva ayakan chanadarva charmabhir nishrishta bandham yajanam samavishat. Translations and purports by His Divine Grace Abhay Charana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. She then reached her father's house where the sacrifice was being performed and entered the arena where everyone was chanting the Vedic hymns. The great sages, the Brahmanas and demigods were all assembled there, and there were many sacrificial animals as well as pots made of clay, stone, gold, grass and skin, which were all requisite for the sacrifice. Purport. When learned sages and brahmanas assembled to chant Vedic mantras, some of them also engaged in arguing about the conclusion of the scriptures. Thus, some of the sages and brahmanas were arguing, and some of them were chanting the Vedic mantras. So the entire atmosphere was surcharged with transcendental sound vibration. This transcendental sound vibration has been simplified in the transcendental vibration Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In this age, no one is expected to be highly educated in the Vedic ways of understanding, because people are very slow, lazy and unfortunate. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya has recommended the sound vibration Hare Krishna, and in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32 it is also recommended. Yadnaya sankirtana praye yajantihi sumedhashah At the present moment, it is impossible to gather sacrificial necessities because of the poverty of the population and their lack of knowledge in Vedic mantras. Therefore, for this age it is recommended that people gather together and chant the Hare Krishna mantra to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is accompanied by his associates. Indirectly, this indicates Lord Chaitanya, who is accompanied by his associates Nityananda, Advaita and others. That is the process of performing yajna in this age. Another significant point in this verse is that there were animals for sacrifice. That these animals were meant for sacrifice does not mean that they were meant to be killed. The great sages and realized souls assembled were performing yajnas, and their realization was tested by animal sacrifice. Just as in modern science, tests are made on animals to determine the effectiveness of a particular medicine, the Brahmanas entrusted with the performance of yajna were very realized souls. And to test their realization, an old animal was offered in the fire and rejuvenated. That was the test of a Vedic mantra. The animals gathered were not meant to be killed and eaten. The real purpose of a sacrifice was not to replace a slaughterhouse, but to test a Vedic mantra by giving an animal new life. Animals were used to test the power of Vedic mantras, not for meat. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswata Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswata Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratuse Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we'll be discussing 3 verses today. We will discuss one verse at a time. That's why we chanted Mangalacharan after the first purport, because there are 3 translations and 3 purports today. So again, we are in this very, very instructive section of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Lord Shiva has been cursed by Daksha Prajapati. He has been abused and criticized by Daksha. And Shivji has come back to Kailash. And some time has passed, and suddenly Mother Sati comes to know that her father Daksha is performing another yajna. And all the relatives, cousins, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, everybody's attending. And being a soft-hearted lady, she naturally wants to attend the festivities. But her husband, Lord Shiva, has not been invited. So she's asking permission from Lord Shiva if she can attend the festivities just for a short while and then return to Kailash, back to her husband. But Shivji gives so many reasons, and he says, no, you should not go, because you are connected to me. You are my better half, you are my Ardhangini, you are half my body. And because you are my beloved wife, Daksha will discriminate against you because of your relationship with me. He will not treat you kindly. He will insult you. And for a respectable person like you, being insulted would be worse than death. Therefore, you should not go. However, that urge, that temptation, that desire to attend this big function with her family was so strong that Mother Sati decided to disobey the orders of Lord Shiva and go to the house of Daksha against the wishes of her exalted husband, Lord Shiva. And this is very, very instructive for all of us, because we all know the philosophy, the basic philosophy. We may not know, we may not understand the very advanced concepts of Krishna consciousness, but the basic concepts of Krishna consciousness, which are enough for our advancement and purification. Basic concepts we all know. We all know that we should chant minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. And we have to follow the 4 regulative principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. And we have to serve in the mission of Srila Prabhupada in the mood of the servant of the servant of the servant. Das, das, anudas. We all know these basic principles. In fact, we have taken vows to follow these 3 things. Number 1, chanting our prescribed number of rounds, which is minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra on Japamala. Number 2, following the 4 regulative principles. And number 3, serving in the mission of Srila Prabhupada in the mood of Dasanudas. All of us at the time of Diksha have made these 3 vows. We are married to these 3 vows. Just like Mother Sati was married to Lord Shiva. All of us are married to these 3 vows. Why? Because we have offered our pranams to our spiritual master, and then holding the microphone in our hand on loudspeaker, we have announced in front of our Gurudev, I will chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra on the Japamala every day. I will follow these 4 regulative principles, and I will serve in the mission of Srila Prabhupada in the mode of the servant of the servant of the servant. In presence of the deities in the temple, we have made these vows. In the presence of the sacred fire, we have made these vows. In the presence of the exalted Vaishnavas, we have made these vows. In the presence of the Paramatma living in our heart, we have made these vows. We have had the initiation samskara. We have had the Diksha samskar. We are married to these 3 promises, 3 vows that we have taken. It is very serious. It is a serious relationship. But what happens is, time and again, each of us, we are tested on these 3 promises. When everything is going good, some devotees visiting our house, we all get up early in the morning and we all chant together for one day. Because the devotee is staying in our house, the senior Vaishnava is staying in our house. That day it is very easy. And the senior Vaishnava goes away thinking, wow, Adigadada Prabhu is so sincere, chants so nicely in the morning. And when those devotees have gone, then I am back to my routine. Chanting in the car, chanting in the office, chanting at night when I am half sleepy. And then thinking, I am too tired now. I still have 5 rounds left. It is better to chant tomorrow when I am fresh. When I will be more alert, I will be more attentive during my japa. So today I will only chant 11 rounds. Tomorrow, first thing I will do, I will complete today's rounds and then I will start tomorrow's rounds. So now let me sleep. Let me sleep. Come on. Keep the bead bag on the side table and let me go to bed. We have been tested, my dear friends. It is very easy to take vows. What does it take to speak those vows? You take anybody from the street, bring them to the temple and tell them, come on, recite these vows. Anybody can take the microphone in his or her hand and loudly announce the 3 promises. Very easy to speak. But it tests our character if we can actually walk our talk. "16 rounds means I have given my word. I am married. If we depart away from these 3 promises that we have made, if we move away from these 3 promises we have made, that means we are leaving our husband Lord Shiva and we are going to the house of Daksha. We cannot depart from our vows. We are married to our vows. We cannot leave our vows, not even for one day. Mother Sati only wanted to go for a short time to visit her family. She was not leaving Lord Shiva permanently. She said, I just want to go attend this function and I will come back. But she never came back. Therefore, we never want to depart from our vows. We never want to leave our vows, not even for one day. What if I don't wake up tomorrow morning to finish those 5 extra rounds? Or those 5 pending rounds? 4 regulative principles. Very easy to follow 4 regulative principles when we are in the temple, when we are on yatra, when we are living with devotees, when we are in the association of devotees. But when we are traveling, we are alone in one city. We are traveling for work. Nobody is watching. We are in our hotel room. We are bored. Then what do we do with our time? Are we going to misuse the facilities that have been given to us? Are we going to misuse our time? Are we going to watch something on the TV or on our laptop or on our cell phones, which we are not supposed to? Are we going to waste our time watching news, watching movies? Or are we going to carry a nice book with us, spiritual book, Prabhupada's books? Or are we going to log into ISKCON Desire Tree and hear some nice lecture? The choice is ours. We may think, let me just watch news for half an hour. I am here getting bored alone. After all, I have to keep in touch with the world. And then that half an hour becomes 45 minutes, becomes 1 hour. Then we have seen all the news and then we feel, okay, let me browse some more channels. Let me see the sports channel. Let me see some movie. And we get carried away. Our consciousness gets carried away. Our mind gets carried away. And we fall down. We depart away from our promises, our vows which we have made. We are married to these 3 promises. And serving in the mission of Srila Prabhupada in the mood of the servant of the servant of the servant. Oh, how we are tested. How difficult it is to work cooperatively with devotees. How many ego clashes. How we can see so many faults in devotees who are managing projects, who are in charge, who are leaders. How easy it is to see their shortcomings, to see their faults, and how easy it is to want to not cooperate, to want to be independent. Okay, I will do it at home. I will practice it at home. No point mixing with these devotees. But nobody practices Krishna consciousness at home in Goloka Vrindavan. In Goloka Vrindavan, all spiritual activities are done together, harmoniously. That is why Srila Prabhupada has established this society, so that we can get trained. It is a real test of our tolerance when we have to work together with other devotees. Very easy to chant the Shikshashtakam prayers, very easy to say Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishtuna, Amanina, Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. But how difficult it is to actually take a humble position when we are in the association of devotees. Devotees who are not behaving in a way that we expect them to behave. Then, to be Trinadapi Sunichena is a real test. When everyone is very nice, everyone is smiling, everybody is folding their hands, everybody is offering obeisances, everybody is saying, Prabhu, you are so nice, Mataji, you are so exalted, you are so sincere, what beautiful deities you have, what a nice house you have, what nice prasadam you have cooked, what nice class you gave, what nice kirtan you are leading. When everybody is saying like this and offering obeisances, it is very easy to be Trinadapi Sunichena. Oh, no, it's all Prabhupada's mercy, thank you, Hare Krishna. Very easy to say that. But when devotees are not praising us, devotees are not glorifying us, devotees are not appreciating us, devotees are not reciprocating with us, at that time, to be humble is Tiranadapi Sunichena. That is the test of our humility. And in ISKCON, our ability to be humble will be tested for our own good. For our own good. A raw, unpolished diamond has to go through a lot to become a multifaceted, shining, glittering, beautiful diamond. Similarly, tolerance. Very easy to say Tarorapi Sahishnu. Tolerant like a tree. But how difficult it is to tolerate lack of appreciation from others. To tolerate a negative feedback given to us by others. To tolerate that cold shoulder which we are getting from other devotees. Oh, when that happens, how easy it is to notice their faults. How easy it is to think they are envious of me. We are being tested. We are being tested, my friends. We have to go through tests. How will we graduate if we don't pass the tests? If you want to graduate, we have to take the test and we have to pass the test. But our problem is we don't want to be tested. And sometimes we don't even come to know that we were tested. And we have failed. Amanina, manadena. Just see, if you think about this verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Amanina, manadena. He is not saying manadena, amanina. He is saying amanina, manadena. Amanina means don't expect any respect from others. And manadena means to give respect to others. But not to expect respect from others is a prerequisite to giving respect to others. I'll repeat. Not expecting any respect from others is a necessity, is a prerequisite. It is required very much if we want to be manadena, if we want to give respect to others. How is that? Because if I am expecting respect from someone, then I will not be able to give that person respect until I get what I am expecting. Because then what will happen is, that person doesn't give me respect, then I say, this person is disrespectful, he is not respecting me, he is not reciprocating, I will also not respect him. Finished. So I could not give respect because I was expecting respect. Therefore, amanina comes first. Only then manadena can happen. So we will be tested on all these three promises. Our 16 rounds, our 4 regulative principles, and our cooperation in the mood of servant of the servant in ISKCON. And these tests are our friends. We should not hate these tests, because it is these tests which Krishna is putting in our path, which give us an opportunity to show Krishna how serious we are, how serious we are to attain his loving embrace. Because we want Krishna. We want Krishna. That is our constitutional position. To be with Krishna, to serve Krishna, to please Krishna. So in this purport, there are 2 paragraphs. In the first paragraph, Srila Prabhupada explains that just see, these yajnas are so complicated, so complex. It's not possible for us. We may try to do something, but neither do we have the pure ingredients. Even the ghee that we use for the yajnas, we are buying it from the Indian store, which nobody knows how they are making, how pure it is, whether those cows are happy or they are going to be slaughtered when they become old. We don't know anything. Even the wood that we are using for the yajna, we don't know how it has been prepared, which trees it is from. We have no idea. Whether they cut down green trees, which they are not supposed to, or it actually came from trees that had naturally died, who knows. The Brahmins that we call for the yajna, they are also not qualified. They also don't have the purity. I will tell you an example. I was in Alabama. After I graduated, I went to Alabama. That was my first job as an attending physician. When I was in Alabama, there was no ISKCON temple in the town where I was living. I was there for 2 years, 2014 and 2015. It was, 2013 and 2014. It was so, I really understood what is the value of ISKCON, what is the value of devotee association when I was there for 2 years. It was so difficult. For 2 years, we had no devotee association. And there was only one Hindu temple. So we used to go there to take darshan of Sri Balaji, Sri Venkateshwar. And when I used to go there, the pujaris came to know that I was a doctor, and they would sometimes talk to me, ask me about their medical problems. My cholesterol has gone up, I'm having sore throat, doctor, what to do? Can you do this? Can you help? So they became friends. There were 2-3 pujaris. They became friends. And one day, one pujari came to me. Now, this pujari is born and brought up in Tirupati, South India. And he is from the Shri Sampradaya. Very, at least he claimed to be, he used to wear that Shri Sampradaya tilak, and he claimed on the website also it said that this Pandit is trained in the Ramanujacharya Sampradaya, like that. And he's doing all the pujas and everything. And he came to me one day and he said, do you do abortions? I said, no, I'm not a obstetrician or a gynecologist. I don't do abortions. I said, why? He said, because my wife needs an abortion. I was shocked. You are a Brahman, you are a pujari in this temple. So many faithful people are coming and they are offering obeisances to you, offering you dakshina, calling you home to do their graha pravesh, to do the upanan samskar of their children. They buy a new car, they call you to do the puja of the car, whatever. So many things you are doing. You are like a spiritual leader for the Hindus here. And you want to do abortion? I said, why do you want to do abortion? It is so sinful. He said, no, I have just come to America from India, and we are not ready yet. I am just married, and we don't want to have a child so soon. I think we should wait. We still have not traveled across America. It will be difficult to travel. We want to see so many places. I said, forget all that, but you should have thought before. And it is sinful to kill the child in the womb. I started preaching to him. And he quoted from some scripture. And he said, doctor, actually there is a scripture where it is said that a Vaidya and Yamaraj are brothers. He quoted some Sanskrit verse. Vaidya and Yamaraj are brothers. So he said, you are a brother of Yamaraj. So you should do the work of Yamaraj. Kill the child in my wife's womb. If you cannot do it, at least refer me to some Indian gynecologist here who will do it, because we don't have insurance. But you want to do it? Or can you prescribe some medicine to abort the child? I was shocked. I was so pained that this is the situation. He was not in a position to hear from me any philosophy, so I could not really preach to him effectively, but I just told him that in my opinion, Panditji, this is very wrong. It is very sinful. This child has been placed in a wife's womb. You are living here in the temple of Balaji. You are living in Vaikuntha. So please, bring this child in this world, give him or her prasad, bring up the child nicely. Don't abort like this. I don't know if he listened to me. I don't know what he did afterwards. And another pujari there was telling me that I am having a lot of acid reflux. Can you help me? I said, what symptoms do you have? He said, every evening when I'm watching movie on the TV after I go home, and I'm sitting in the couch and eating, I get these khatte dhakar. I get this, burping and food refluxes in my throat and comes in my mouth. I said, watching movie? He said, yeah, what to do? It's so boring, I watch movies, cricket matches and everything when I go home every day. What to do? Nothing else to do. So again, I was thinking that just see, Maya is so strong, and Kali Yuga has all of us in its grips. And I just realized that what a wonderful process Srila Prabhupada has given us. What a wonderful process Srila Prabhupada has given us. Now here are 3 Panditjis living in one house. It was a big house made for them with 3 or 4 bedrooms and everything, so they could stay with their families in each room. So it's not like they did not have association. 3 Pandits living together in one big house with their families. If they wanted, they could come together, do kirtan, read the shastra, serve the deities in the temple so nicely. They're living next to the temple, serving in the temple all day. And each of them was getting a stipend also of some $1,000 or something, plus free food, free lodging, boarding, everything. So it was a group of doctors only in that town who were serving that temple, paying for all the expenses and everything. But it was very painful for me to hear that just see the influence of Kali Yuga. The spiritual leaders of the community, their personal life is spiritually so shallow. Spiritually, they don't even know that watching cricket matches and watching movies simply spoils our consciousness. Because we are simply seeing 4 regulative principles being broken in the movies. And it rubs into our consciousness. It penetrates our consciousness very subtly. And abortion, you don't even believe that aborting a child just because it is inconvenient for you and you still have a lot of desires for sense gratification and you want to enjoy in this country, see a lot of things, you don't want the burden of a child. This is the state of affairs in Kali Yuga. So we will be tested. We will be tested. Therefore, even the Pandits that we call to do yajna, we don't know what is the quality of their sadhana. We don't know what is the quality of their personal life. Therefore, Prabhupada writes in the first paragraph of the purport that we read, the best yajna for this age is not Agnihotra yajna, not Ashwamedh yajna, not Rajasuya yajna. It is Sankirtan yajna. Just come together with like-minded devotees. Don't criticize anybody. Just come together and in a humble spirit, just chant the holy names of Krishna together. Just chant the holy names of Krishna together. That is Sankirtan Yajna. In the second paragraph, Srila Prabhupada explains again that the animals who were present in the sacrifice were simply meant to test the power of the Vedic mantras, to test the purity of the Brahmanas who were performing the yajna. That was the purpose. That was the purpose of those animals. Not to kill, but they would be rejuvenated. They would be given a new body, indicating that the yajna had been performed properly. Yajna was successful. So the animals to be sacrificed were actually a test of the caliber of the Brahmanas who are performing the yajnas. So just see, even in those days, even in Satya Yuga, when the yajnas were being performed, in Treta Yuga also when the yajnas were being performed, the sacrificial animals were actually meant to test in front of everyone the caliber and the quality of the Brahmins who are performing the yajnas. So even the Yagic Brahmins were tested. So what to speak of us? We are also going to be tested in this Sankirtan Yajna. Can we do Sankirtan Yajna following the 4 regulative principles or not? So we'll move to the next verse. Tamagatam tatra nakaschanadriyad vimanitam yadna krito bhayajanaha Kriteshva Shrivaijanmani cha sadadara Prema Shrukantya Parisa Swayurmuda. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. When Sati with her followers reached the arena, because all the people assembled were afraid of Daksha, none of them received her well. No one welcomed her. But her mother and sisters, who with tears in their eyes, Premashru, with tears in their eyes and with glad faces, welcomed her and talked with her very pleasingly. Purport: the mother and sisters of Sati could not follow the others, who did not receive Sati very well. Due to natural affection, they immediately embraced her with tears in their eyes and with loving feelings. This shows that women as a class are very soft-hearted. Hare Krishna. Their natural affection and love cannot be checked by artificial means. Although the men present were very learned brahmanas and demigods, they were afraid of their superior Daksha. And because they knew that their welcoming Sati would displease him, although in their minds they wanted to receive her, they could not do so. Women are naturally soft-hearted, but men are sometimes very hard-hearted. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Wonderful, wonderful analysis by our beloved Srila Prabhupada. He's saying that Matajis, by nature, they are loving, caring, and soft-hearted. So all the men, they did not welcome Sati because they were afraid that if they welcome, then Daksha will be angry. But Sati's mother and sisters, and they could not control themselves. They lovingly welcomed her, embraced her, and they bathed her with their tears of love. So just see, women are naturally devotees of Krishna because they have love. And bhakti is nothing but love for Krishna. So you give them a deity of Laddu Gopal, and a Mataji will naturally, spontaneously start taking care of that Laddu Gopal as if Laddu Gopal is her own beloved child. You give her Gaur Nitai, and she will start worshipping in the mood of Sachi Mata. Cook for Gaur Nitai, feed Gaur Nitai, dress them up, bathe them, offer them arti, wake them up, put them to bed at night. This comes naturally to a woman. We have seen it. We don't need to explain this point. We all know. It is so much easier for Matajis to become devotees. And men, we have so much ego that we hold back. Just like the men in the family of Daksha, they held back. We are running out of time. We'll go to the last verse. सौदर्य संप्रश्न समर्थ वार्तया मात्रा च मात्रे स्वशिर्भिश्च सादरम् दत्तां सपर्यां वरमाशनं च सा नादत्त पित्रा प्रतिनन्दिता सती. Again, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation: although she was received by her sisters and mother, she did not reply to their words of reception. And although she was offered a seat and presents, she did not accept anything, for her father neither talked with her nor welcomed her by asking about her welfare. Purport: Sati did not accept the greetings offered by her sisters and mother, for she was not at all satisfied by her father's silence. Sati was the youngest child of Daksha, and she knew that she was his pet. But now, because of her association with Lord Shiva, Daksha forgot all his affection for his daughter, and this very much aggrieved her. The material bodily conception is so polluted that even upon slight provocation, all our relationships of love and affection are nullified. Bodily relationships of love and affection are nullified. Bodily relationships are so transient that even though one is affectionate towards somebody in a bodily relationship, a slight provocation terminates this intimacy. Hare Krishna. So in the previous verse, we heard how Matajis are naturally affectionate. Can someone quickly unmute the phone and answer one question? So in the previous verse we saw that Matajis are naturally more affectionate, and the men, because they were afraid of Daksha, they controlled their emotions and they did not acknowledge or receive or offer any love to Sati. But the Matajis did not care. They just went, they embraced, they cried, they welcomed Sati. There is a parallel to this in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Can someone unmute and tell which pastime it is?
Brahmana, Prabhu. Brahmana's wife.
Very good, very good.
Okay.
What is your good name, Mataji?
Anjana Gopika Devdasi, Prabhu.
Anjana Gopika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Excellent, excellent.
Thank you.
Very good, very good. So there also the Yajnik Brahmans, they realized that their wives, the Yajna Patnis, had attained perfection of their life simply by offering prasad to Krishna and Balram and their friends. And in the end of that Leela, they also wanted to go and surrender to Krishna and Balram, but they held back because they were afraid of Kamsa. What if Maharaj Kamsa comes to know? He will punish us. So they lost out on the opportunity. But very interestingly, our Acharyas explain something very sweet. They say that the Yajnik Brahmanas, the Yajnik Brahmans, they did not surrender to Krishna because they were afraid of Kaliya. Even after realizing, because they were afraid of Kamsa. Even after realizing that their wives had attained perfection by surrendering to Krishna and Balram. So their wives became their Shiksha Guru, became their Vartama Pradarshaka Guru. They showed the path, they taught them the right way, but still the Yajnik Brahmans did not listen to the Yajna Patnis. And they did not surrender to Krishna, even after seeing the glorious example of their wives, the Yajna Patnis, because they were afraid of Kamsa. But our Acharyas explain, on the other hand, Kaliya, his wives also were his Vartama Pradarshaka Guru and his Shiksha Gurus. Kaliya's wives, the Naga Patnis, they surrendered to Krishna, they glorified Krishna, they did Krishna Stuti, and they attained perfection. But Kaliya was humble in a way that he accepted that his wives were right. He was not afraid of Kamsa, so he surrendered to Krishna. So our Acharyas explain, the envious snake Kaliya is much better than the Yajnik Brahmans. Hare Krishna. So this is the beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam. The Yajnik Brahmans were in the Varnashram society. They were part of the Varnashram Dharma. They were qualified Brahmanas. They knew the mantras, they knew the Yajnas, they knew the mudras, they knew everything. And our Acharya explained, but because they did not surrender to Krishna, they are less than the envious snake Kaliya. Kaliya at least listened to his wives, and because of his wives, Kaliya became elevated. But the Yajnik Brahmans did not listen to their devotee wives, therefore they remained fallen. Bhagavata bhakti hinasya jati shastra japa tapa apranasya mantrasya apranasya eva dehasya mandanam lokaranjanam. Jiva Goswami explains that Bhagavata bhakti hinasya, hinasya means without, bhakti hin. Bhagavata bhakti hinasya, without Bhagavad bhakti, without Krishna bhakti, jati, shastra, japa, tapa. Your jati, your birth, whatever your jati is, Brahman, Vaishya, Sudra, Kshatriya, your jati, shastra, your knowledge of the scriptures, japa, all the japa chanting that you are doing, tapa, all the tapasya you are doing, whatever fast, whatever vrat you are doing, Bhagavad bhakti hinasya jati shastra japa tapa apranasya eva dehasya. Apranasya eva dehasya. Deha means body. Aprana means dead body, lifeless body. Apranasya eva dehasya. Without Bhagavad bhakti, all our japa, tapa, jati, everything is like a body without the pran, a lifeless body, a dead body. Mandanam lokaranjanam. Mandanam means the decoration. When a dead body is there, when a person dies and the dead body is there, when people come for visitation, when people come to see the dead body to pay their last respects, the dead body is nicely decorated. The hair is combed nicely, The body is cleaned, fresh white clothes are worn by the dead body. They put some nice decorations on the dead body, nice flower garlands. The body is decorated very nicely, huh? And people come and they see and they feel happy. This departed soul, is comfortably kept, is going to be put in the grave comfortably, or is going to be cremated very nicely. He's nicely decorated. But all this decoration on a dead body is lokaranjanam. It gives satisfaction to the people. Lokaranjanam. It gives satisfaction to the people, but it is useless for the dead body. For the person who has died, all that decoration means nothing. That person is already gone. It's just a dead body that they are decorating. So similarly, Jiva Goswami explains that without Bhagavad Bhakti, all our jati, scriptural knowledge, japa, tapasya, austerities, everything is as useless as decoration on a dead body. All our material qualifications, all our upadhis, our titles, all our chanting, all our social status, all our austerities, everything, all our knowledge of scriptures, all the verses we know, everything is as useless as a decoration on a dead body. It does no good to the dead person. It is only meant for satisfaction of people who come to see. Bhagavata bhakti hinasya jati shastra japa tapa apranasya eva dehasya mandanam lokaranjanam. So therefore, Bhagavad Bhakti is essential. We want to be like Kaliya. If anything, we want to be, when somebody shows us the right path, we want to humbly accept our mistake and we want to follow in the footsteps of the great souls. We don't want to be stubborn, arrogant, egoistic people like the Yajnik Brahmanas. And in the last verse that we read today, verse number 8, we are seeing bodily relationships are so transient that even though one is affectionate towards somebody in a bodily relationship, a slight provocation terminates this intimacy. You see, Prabhupada is trying to explain these bodily relationships are so temporary, they are so transient, they are so fragile that even slight disturbance can destroy relationships in this material world. That is the truth of this world we live in. We have to understand this. Therefore, it is not worth leaving Krishna for these temporary relationships. It is not worth investing all our time and energy in temporary mundane relationships and giving up Krishna consciousness for that. Just like Mother Sati left the association of Lord Shiva. Even though he was instructing her, do not go to the house of your father, Daksha. Still, she disobeyed and she went for the sake of mundane family relationships. And she realized that these mundane family relationships are so fragile. Slight provocation and Daksha had become her enemy. Her loving father had become her enemy now. So she realized that my deepest relationship is with my devotee husband, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. So similarly, we should not invest our limited time, limited energy, limited love, limited emotions. We should not invest them into mundane relationships, cultivating mundane relationships. No. We should use our love, our energy, our talents, our abilities, and our limited time cultivating relationship with Krishna and Krishna's devotees. And our family members are devotees. So we should see our relationships through the glasses of Krishna consciousness, not through the glasses of mundane family relationships. Because mundane family relationships are based on you scratch my back and I will scratch your back. If you cannot scratch my back, then I will not scratch your back. It's all give and take. It's all give and take. But spiritual relationships are not like that. In spiritual relationships, you give and Krishna will give you millions of times more. Whereas in mundane relationships, you give some and you get some. But in spiritual relationships, Sakrideva prapannoyam tavasmiti sayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami etad vratam mama. Lord Ramchandra tells on the bank of the ocean when Vibhishan comes to surrender, he says, what to speak of you, Vibhishan? I will give you shelter. What to speak of you? Even if Ravan comes, I will give him full shelter. Sakrid means just once, one time. Sakrid eva prapannoyam. Even if once someone comes and surrenders to me. Prapanna means to surrender. Sakrid eva prapannoyam tavasmiti sayachate. And does yachana, prays to me, begs to me earnestly that tava asmi, I am yours. Tavasmiti sayachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami etad vratam mama. It is my vrata, it is my vow that to such a person, abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami. Such a person, dada means to give, abhayam means fearlessness, sarvada means forever. To such a person I will give abhayam forever. I will give fearlessness eternally. Dadami means I will give. Vratam mama, this is my vow. So you surrender to me once and I will accept you forever. I will make you mine forever. I will give you abhayam forever. That is Krishna. That is Krishna. So it is not mundane give and take. In Krishna consciousness, you give little bit and Krishna will give you unlimitedly more than that. Therefore, we want to invest in Krishna consciousness. And we want to see all our relationships, husband-wife relationship, relationship with our children, relationship with our parents, relationship with our brothers and sisters. We want to see all these relationships with Krishna in the center of these relationships. Even if they may not be devotees to our external vision, but if they are our husbands, our wives, our parents, our brothers, sisters, our children, even though they are not worshipping Krishna at this point in time, we should see our relationships as spiritual. We should spiritualize our relationships, keeping Krishna in the center. At least we can serve them prasad. At least we can be exemplary devotees in their presence so that seeing us, they are reminded of Krishna. That way we can spiritualize our relationships. Otherwise, just mundane relationships are so fickle. Prabhupada says slight provocation and the relationship is terminated. We have seen this, is it not? Friendships, relationships, they are broken over small things. Little dispute, you don't give me a like on Facebook, or you did not write a favorable comment on my Facebook profile, or you got more property from the father, or you criticize my wife, therefore our relationship is broken, or why you are not doing this, you did not invite me for this get together, therefore finished, I'm not going to talk to you now. Slightest provocation and mundane materialistic friendships which don't have spiritual depth, they are finished. Therefore Prabhupada says that even in spiritual relationships we have to be very careful, because if we don't have the depth of Krishna consciousness, we don't understand the value of a devotee, we don't understand the pricelessness of devotee relationships, then we can bring the same mundane materialistic concepts into ISKCON. Because we are in ISKCON for the last few years, but we have been outside ISKCON for the rest of our lives, right? We have spent 25, 30 years outside ISKCON, and now 5, 6 years we have been in ISKCON. So what happens is, we bring our previous conditionings of cutting off relationships, cut with a scissor, cutting relationships mentality, we bring into Krishna consciousness. And slight disagreement, slight fight happens here, we break the relationship, the devotee relationship. Therefore Prabhupada says, one's greatness has to be estimated by one's ability to tolerate provoking situations. Prabhupada writes this in the purport when he describes the pastime of Bhrigumuni. One's greatness has to be estimated by one's ability to tolerate provoking situations. This is Srila Prabhupada's realization. Every time we are provoked, we should remember this teaching of Srila Prabhupada. We have to try to tolerate it for a higher purpose. Because when we tolerate, when we take a humble position, when we offer all respect, even though we may not be getting the respect, then Krishna is pleased. Yes, it is difficult, but when we do that, when we take a humble position, when we tolerate, Krishna is pleased. And Krishna will give us such a taste, will give us such an inner realization, will reciprocate with us internally, heart to heart, that then we never want to leave Krishna. That is the state we want to achieve. We want to realize Krishna. We want to understand Krishna. We want to be close to Krishna. We want to feel Krishna's reciprocation. And we want to develop love for Krishna. That is our natural state. That is our natural state. That is a state in which we can be truly happy. True happiness is not on a cruise ship. True happiness is not going to Hawaii and lying down on a beach, sipping on a beer. True happiness is not getting that promotion and getting a $50,000 raise in your salary. That is not real happiness, my dear friends. This comes and goes, comes and goes. I will give you one example from my own life. Recent example. Some devotees were going to come to Atlanta, so I booked their tickets, and for some reason they had to cancel, and the tickets were not refundable. So the tickets were around $700, and all that Lakshmi, I thought, gone. But it's okay. I thought, it's Krishna's money. Lakshmi always belongs to Krishna. Lakshmi sits on Krishna's chest, Shrivatsa. Lakshmi sits on Krishna's chest, Krishna's heart. I should not have my heart on Lakshmi for my own enjoyment. It is Krishna's Lakshmi. Krishna gives it, and Krishna takes it. It's okay. It's gone. So it's okay. I just dealt with my mind like this. And it is Krishna's Lakshmi, Krishna's money. It's okay. It's Krishna's energy. I should not be attached. These things happen. I had no control. I booked it. I was told to book the tickets, and something unavoidable happened. They are not able to come now. So what to do? So I called the airlines. I said, I want to cancel. They are not coming. Can I get some refund? So they said, there is so much cancellation fee, this and that, and you'll only get some $300 back, which you can use only for those devotees, only those people, those passengers. You cannot use it for yourself. I said, but they don't live in America. They are coming from India, and they may not come back next year, and it's only valid for 12 months. So if you give me the credit in their name, then it's practically useless. So they said, yeah, that's how it is. So I asked them, are you going to come back next year? We can use this credit for booking next year. They said, no, next year we may not come. Anyway, we may not come in the next 12 months. Even if we come next year, it may be more than 12 months from now. So it's useless. So then I called the airlines and they said, should we cancel? I said, no, it's going to be useless. So I said, just keep the tickets now. Don't cancel it. Just leave it as it is. So I didn't cancel. I just left it like that. And then the day they were supposed to come, I had even forgotten that they're coming. They were supposed to take an afternoon flight. So that morning around 11 o'clock, I got an email from the airlines that because of there was a snowstorm in New Jersey, New York, from where they were flying into Atlanta. So because of the snowstorm, all the flights were cancelled. So I got an email that all the flights are cancelled and postponed. If you need any more information, please call us at this number. So I thought, let me take a chance. I called them and I said that these passengers were supposed to come. They said, yeah, the flights are cancelled because of the inclement weather. We can book them on a flight tomorrow morning. So I said, but they were going to do a presentation this evening in Atlanta. 40-50 devotees were going to come, and that's why they were coming. So now the flight is postponed, cancelled, so that seminar will not happen this evening. So I want to cancel it. I said, okay, no problem. Just tell me he took some information from me, and they refunded 100% amount. The complete $700, some dollars and some cents, exactly the full amount they refunded to me. So whilst I would have got just some refund in the passenger's name, which would have been useless and lost all the money, I got all the money back, each and every cent back I got. So again, I thought, okay, it is Krishna's desire. It came back. The devotees also are very happy that you got the Lakshmi back. I said, okay, it's Krishna's money. Krishna can do whatever he wants. It's Krishna's mercy. The money was gone. It was Krishna's mercy. He was teaching me a lesson. The money has come back. It is Krishna's mercy. He's teaching me a lesson. And then what happened was, this is not the end of the story. Then I was going to Detroit for the temple opening. My family also was going, so we were going to Detroit for the temple opening. And we were going in 2 different batches, my wife in one batch, and I was going separately because I was working. I was going the next day. But my wife and the children, they all missed the flight to Detroit. But they really wanted to go to the temple opening. So they bought new tickets 2 hours later, same day, so that they could fly, and tickets were very expensive. So again, so much money was spent on the tickets because they missed the flight. So again, money lost. So then again I thought, okay, money was lost, money was gained, and again money is lost. Krishna is just simply testing. We have to try our best. We should try to be on time. We have learned a lesson. But money comes and money goes. You cannot be attached. So I thought, I was philosophizing with myself that money comes, Krishna's Lakshmi, Krishna took it away. Now Krishna is really testing whether I can maintain my composure or I get irritated and angry and start yelling at family members for missing their flight. We have to learn lesson, but you cannot. What has happened has happened. You cannot fight over it. Even the people who whatever mistake happened, they also realize their mistake. So moral of the story is, things happen. It comes, goes again. So what to do? This is life. Material world, everything is very fragile, everything is very fickle, everything is temporary. We have to be careful, we have to use our intelligence, we have to try our best, we have to try to be responsible. But sometimes things are not in our control. We should not spoil relationships, we should not fight over things that are not in our control. We have to just tolerate them. These are some of the thoughts I wanted to share about these 3 verses. Thank you so much for your association. Thank you for tolerating me. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Kamadaki Dasi. Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes, Kamadaki Mataji, I can hear you nicely. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam. I wanted to see that verse that you recited, Bhakti Hinasya. I forgot the other words, but can you please tell me where it is, or maybe you can put on this WhatsApp?
It is. Can I? Are you on the WhatsApp group, Mataji?
Yes, I am.
So I will share the verse on the group.
Okay.
I'm at the hospital, but when I go home, I will share that verse with you on the group. It is Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastra Japa Tapa Apranasya Eva Mantrasya Apranasya Eva Dehasya Mandanam Lokaranjana.
Yes, thank you very much. Very wonderful class, Prabhuji. Very nicely you have explained everything. Hare Krishna, my Dharma Pranam to you and all the devotees and all the acharyas. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Kamadaki Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to your good self. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This is Damodar Ananda Das from Bloomington, Illinois. I always enjoy your lectures, and beautiful thing is you quote so many real examples from your life. That is so inspiring. And I'm going to remember some of your words that the real happiness is not on the cruise ship and all those things. So, thank you very much. My gratitude for your time and service. Hari Bol.
Thank you very much, Damodar Ananda Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Very wonderful lecture. Prabhuji, you were telling us to tolerate when we have all those issues with other devotees, things like that. So, how do we develop that attitude, Prabhu? I mean, when things happen, normally you don't remember all these things, but we need to continuously tolerate means what? We just avoid them, or could you give little practical tips on that? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Prabhuji, tolerate. It depends on what the situation is. In an extreme situation, if there is physical abuse, or there is emotional abuse, or there is mental abuse, or there is financial abuse, then you cannot allow yourself to get exploited. Because by allowing yourself to get exploited, you are getting disturbed, and the person who is exploiting you is getting sins. So we have to see what the situation is. If somebody is physically abusing, financially abusing, emotionally abusing, spiritually abusing, then Prabhupada says we should love the person who has the disease, but we can hate the disease. So we have to hate the disease, but we have to love the person who has the disease. So it depends what the situation is, but if somebody is exploiting, then for your own protection, for your own sake, and for the spiritual welfare of the person who is abusing, you have to withdraw. You have to protect yourself so that the abuse stops. Or if you see that somebody is being abused, then tolerance doesn't mean that you continue the abuse. No, you try to. Compassion means to elevate the consciousness of people. If somebody is misusing their position, if somebody is abusing, and if you are in a position to guide that person, you have that relationship, you have that adhikar to tell that person, then you can tell that person that what you are doing, Prabhu, and you can tell it with folded hands, with a trina between your teeth, dante trina dhari. Holding a straw between your teeth, you can tell that person that, Prabhu, this is not good. You are not representing Srila Prabhupada properly. Please consider stopping this. You can tell like a well-wisher. In a very humble spirit, Prabhu. If you tell in a very authoritative way, it will not penetrate the heart. But if you tell it in a humble spirit, communication is essential. Most of the problems in devotee relationships happen because of lack of communication and miscommunication, rumors. That person said that person said that. By the time it reaches the person who is hearing it, so many things are lost in translation. So many things are exaggerated. So communication is essential directly with the person who is doing it. Now it takes courage to communicate. It is not easy to communicate. It is a difficult conversation to tell somebody that what you are doing is not good. But that is humility, and that is compassion. Humility is not just to keep quiet and let the abuse continue. That is violence. We have to be humble, but we have to do it. What is our intention? Our intention is to beautify Srila Prabhupada's movement. Our intention is to solidify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. For that greater good, we are doing the austerity. We are taking the risk of speaking to somebody. But if you don't have the relationship, you don't have the adhikar, you are not in a position to advise somebody. The person is in a superior position or is not in a position to hear from you. Then you should see who is the designated spiritual authority of that person. And you should go to that person and tell them that please explain to this devotee he is doing like this. So it depends on what the exact situation is. I can only give you a general answer based on principles. because I don't know what specific situation you're talking about. But if you have the relationship, you should communicate. And I have done it. It works. It is difficult. It is not easy to sit down and have that conversation, but it works. Because our intention is to make everyone happy. Our intention is to make sure everybody is happy in Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada's society, Prabhupada's family remains united and strong. So you should not let abuse happen. Your humility, your compassion means you try your best to stop the abuse, but you have to do it in a humble way, always reminding yourself that this person may have the disease, but I hate the disease and I love the person who is having the disease. And another thing I do, Prabhu, is when I have such problems with devotees, I make it a point after completing my japa in the morning, when I'm offering dandavats to Krishna, I pray for that person about whom I am having ill feelings, with whom I am having a relationship problem. I take that person's name and I pray to Krishna for that person, that Krishna, he's a nice devotee. We all have our own coverings of Maya, my dear Krishna, but he's a nice devotee. He's chanting your name. He's serving you. He's reading books about you. He's a nice devotee. Please, Krishna, please purify him, protect him, and maintain him. I say these 3 words. Chetu darpana marjanam shuddha habe mana means purify this devotee, raksha, protect him, and pahi, maintain him. I say these 3 things. Krishna, please purify this devotee, please protect him or her, and please maintain him or her. And when we pray like that for that devotee, by taking that devotee's name in front of Krishna just after finishing our japa, when you're offering your obeisances in the morning, that is the time when Krishna is most pleased with you. You have just finished your japa in Brahma Muhurta and you're offering obeisances. You take the name of that, not for yourself. You pray for other devotees, those devotees with whom you are having a struggle to have a harmonious relationship. Those devotees with you are having difference of opinion. When you take their name and specifically pray for them, it is so therapeutic for your heart. That is our problem. We give feedback, we correct, we gossip, we talk about devotees, we criticize devotees, but we don't pray for them. Our heart is purified and our intentions are tested by how sincerely we pray for those devotees with whom we are not able to get along. We have to see their good qualities. We should find some good qualities in them, glorify them before Krishna, and pray for that devotee. Then, later on in the day, you may give a negative feedback to that devotee. You may give a correction to that devotee. You may try to correct that devotee. You may reprimand that devotee. But that morning, you have prayed for that devotee. You have expressed your love for that devotee. You have promoted that devotee to Krishna. You have petitioned for that devotee to Guru and Krishna. And next day morning also, you are going to pray for that devotee. So the way you speak to that devotee, the way you deal with that devotee, you will do it in a way that is pleasing to Guru and Krishna, automatically. Krishna gives you that spiritual maturity and that realization how to deal with those situations. If your intention is clear and if your sadhana is good. Does that make sense, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, 100%. What a wonderful answer. Thank you, Prabhuji. I will try to practice those things. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for a very instructive class. And you know what? I will practice the same thing also, what you just really nicely instructed. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for your wonderful class. I always look forward for your classes, Prabhuji. Very nice instruction. Especially I like the point like the respect thing. Accepting respect and giving respect and tolerance also. Very wonderful. Thanks, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. Thank you so much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Guru. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming again. Wonderful day. I was hearing Radha Govind Maharaj's katha, and your pravachan reminds me of one incident. Can I share?
Yes, Prabhuji, please. Please introduce yourself and then please continue.
This is Dasu Dasanudas, Bhakti Swarup Govind.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for your association. Please go ahead, Maharaj.
Yeah, so it's amazing. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna is described. Shukadeva Goswami is praying, and one of the description is he's calling him Anantapati. Krishna truly is the Lord of the Ananta, or everything. So it's amazing when Vibhishan came, the shloka which you quoted, So because somebody objected that, oh, this is the brother of the enemy, or Ravana, and he's coming, maybe he has some plot or some intention. The Lord Ramchandra, because he possesses everything, and so he bestowed that, or he revealed that if somebody comes and one surrenders and tells that I'm yours, he gives him complete shelter and freedom from fear. So that's wonderful. And then what he did, then he coronated Vibhishan with the kingdom of Lanka, even before winning Lanka. Isn't it amazing? Radha Govind Maharaj was sharing that then somebody asked, my Lord, you have coronated him with the kingdom of Lanka. Oh, what will you do if Ravan comes and surrenders to you? Lord Ramchandra said, well, I will give him the kingdom of Ayodhya. This is what Radha Govind Maharaj was describing, because Krishna, by giving, as you so wonderfully described, that about how much we can give, but Krishna can give the Ananta, because he possesses Ananta, and even by giving Ananta, he doesn't become decreased in his possession. He is unlimited. So this is the nature of Krishna compared to the giving nature of the Devatas. Even when Lord Shiva created Lanka, the golden, for Mother Parvati, as we are discussing, because she wanted some nice palace, and Lord Shiva created. And the Purohit who performed the housewarming or whatever was to puja was Ravana. So Ravana was asked for donation, means what he wants for. Then he asked, okay, give me this Lanka. So Lord Shiva, then he had to grudgingly give that Lanka to Ravana. So what I mean to say that this is the nature of Krishna, that only he is Anantapati. If anything, and one thing which reminds that as every one of us worships Krishna, because Krishna is Ananta, he can individually reciprocate and give us the Ananta. So especially your class today focused on devotees' relationship and the envious nature because of our previous residual effect of our ignorance. Although we come on the platform of knowledge in Krishna consciousness, still the residual effect, like the hissing of the snake, that carries somehow or other, although it doesn't have malefic effect, but still the hissing itself could be very cruel and very unpleasant many a times. But this is the nature of Krishna consciousness we can all appreciate, that if we see some devotee blessed with something very wonderful, great, then we should be able to appreciate it, because it does not deprive us the possibility of attaining any fortune or any good thing, wonderful, from Krishna. Rather, in contrast, the only way we become the recipient of wonderful fortune, satisfaction, peace of mind, wonder, everything, only by appreciating the fortune of other devotees. This is the inner thing. The only way to realize the felicitation or delight of Krishna consciousness is by genuinely appreciating the fortune, good nature, good wisdom, of other devotees. This is what all of us have to imbibe. This is the secret revealed by Shukadeva Goswami. Kim Varnate Dishta Manu Prajogoswami, he describes in Srimad Bhagavatam in 14th chapter of 10th canto. He is not thinking that, I am also such a great devotee of Krishna 24/7. Why Krishna doesn't deal with me? Rather, he becomes absorbed in glorifying the fortune of Brajavasis. This is how Shukadeva Goswami celebrated. Your presentation reminds us of many wonderful things. Good presentation, Prabhu. Keep it up and hope to hear you from again. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. With your permission, can I share something, Prabhu? Maharaj, about what you said?
For the pleasure of all of us.
So, Maharaj, this was very wonderful pastime which you just narrated, that Lord Ramchandra coronated Vibhishan as the king of Lanka even before the war. And then when actually Vedanta Deshikesh and Govindaraj, the disciples, the descendants of Ramanujacharya, Shripad Ramanujacharya, they describe in their commentary to Ramayana this incident, which so beautifully was narrated by Srila Radha Govindadas Maharaj, and you were so nicely quoting it. So when Lord Ramchandra coronates Vibhishan, then it is said that Hanumanji asks him to bring out the glory of Lord Ram. He asks, but what about Ravan? What if Ravan comes and surrenders to you? He is a Kshatriya. He also needs a kingdom. So then he says exactly what you said, that in that case I will give Ayodhya to Ravan. I will make Ravan Ayodhyapati. So then Hanumanji asks, but you have given Ayodhya already to Bharat. Bharat is ruling Ayodhya. So where will Bharat go? So Lord Ramchandra says in front of all the Vanarsena, he says, I will make Bharat the king of Vaikuntha. I will give the whole Vaikuntha to my brother Bharat, and Bharat will become Vaikuntanath. Then Hanumanji, with tears of love in his eyes, seeing the magnanimity of Lord Ramchandra, he says, but Prabhu, you are Vaikuntanath. You are the Lord of Vaikuntha. If you give Vaikuntha to Bharat, then where will you go? And then Lord Ramchandra lovingly looks at Hanumanji and all the Vanar Sena and says, after giving Vaikuntha to Bharat, I will simply live in the hearts of my devotees like you. Shri Ramchandra Bhagwan ki jai. So that is our Lord, so merciful. And thank you so much, Maharaj, for giving your association. You should give classes, Maharaj, on this conference.
Well, you described the unlimited nature of Krishna as Lord Ramchandra in a wonderful way. So this is how we can appreciate Krishna's glory, because Krishna's glory being unlimited, only way we can perceive Krishna's unlimited glory, this is a secret, by appreciating the glories and the fortune and the wonder in other devotees. Because we have to now act on the platform of Krishna consciousness very, very consciously. There's a saying I want to share. You know, all the mundane sayings, they are very wonderful, but as a devotee, as a practicing devotee or sadhaka, devotee is a very elevated term. Even as a sadhaka, we have to become very, very conscious about the great responsibility. So the saying goes that the happiest people may not have the best of everything. You may have all heard about it, but it was very appealing to me, so I'm recalling. The happiest people may not have the best of everything, but whatever they have, they make the best of it. Why it is appealing? So only from Krishna conscious point of view, whatever situation given to us, we know that it is by the sanction of Krishna, by the loving control of Krishna. So whatever situation, whatever opportunity, whatever thing we have, we must groove ourselves to make the best of it for the pleasure of Krishna. and not become envious of others, especially the other devotees, because that is to be relished. That has to be relished. That has to be relished, despite our otherwise nature. Again and again, one can remind oneself, oh, how can I not appreciate this devotee? How can I not appreciate that devotee? There is something to be appreciated. There is something to be appreciated. Example given is of the Kali Chaddar or Safed Chaddar. So we can see devotees wearing beautiful, decorated with wonderful qualities is a Safed Chaddar. So clean and everything. And if some spot is there, then it must be overlooked. The wonderful example given in Srila Prabhupada's purpose, Srila Prabhupada quotes Narsingha Puran in the Api Chetsu Duracharo Bhajate Mam Ananya Bhak. In that, towards the end, Prabhupada quotes this from Narsingha. He says, Bhagavati cha harav ananya cheta vrishe malinopi virajati manushya nahi shashay kalush chhabhi kadachit timir parabhavatam upaiti chandra hai. So the function of the moon is to shed lights. He provides lights and a wonderful nectar for the vegetation and everything. And even if the sign of a rabbit appears or seems on, it does not deprive, it does not block the moon's capacity to spread light. So in the same way, devotees are like moon. They are giving so much nectar, so much joy, and the possibility of bringing the greatest fortune in the lives of others. So their all qualities are what to be glorified. And in etiquette, in good etiquette, as you describe, even when we have the true nature to help or assist devotees with a humble mood and with proper etiquette, we can do it, but we should not hover over the negative aspects of any devotee, because they are very dear to Krishna. We cannot overlook that aspect. So that is the point. Without that, we will fall short from the expectation of Krishna. We don't want to fall short. We have to come up to the full expectation of Krishna only by glorifying and appreciating and becoming non-envious of devotees with good things.
Thank you very much, Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for your enlightening comments. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very, very wonderful class, Prabhuji. And I like the point, like the Kaliya is much better than the Brahmanas, because he listened to his wives and surrender unto Krishna. So this is the way we should take the like advice of the good person who gives the advice, like to surrender unto Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Shama Gauri Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhuji, one more point comes to mind. Is it okay?
Yes, Maharaj. Please go ahead.
Sometimes in Srimad Bhagavatam and in the Acharya's commentary, this example of Kaliya is given, and his comparison which you made with the Brahmanas. At least Brahmanas later, because of the fortune, acknowledging the fortune of their wives, they became devotee and they received the same appreciation. But in case of Kaliya, because he caused so much havoc, so much pain to the Brajavasis, so he was kicked out of Vrindavan. So the comparison is in one context, but that way one should not be mistaken by thinking, oh, I would rather be Kaliya than Brahmanas. Now, Brahmanas are very elevated because of their pride of their knowledge and everything. They deprived themselves to receive Krishna's direct mercy, but nonetheless, they became the recipient of Krishna's mercy indirectly. But whereas Kaliya, he was kicked out of Vrindavan. So we are not, from that point of view, not regarding Kaliya as something to follow the example of, like that. You can make some comment. Right?
Yes, Prabhu, thank you so much for that insight. Our scriptures can be understood from different perspectives, and Prabhupada wanted us to study the scriptures from different perspectives based on commentaries of different acharyas. Regarding Kaliya, it is also mentioned that he became so dear to Krishna, and he developed such a service attitude that Kaliya, although he was asked to leave Vrindavan, but he became a very intimate servant of Krishna, and he, just like Krishna uses Garud to go from one place to the other, he uses Kaliya sometimes when he feels Krishna wants a change. He calls on Kaliya, and he sits on Kaliya's back, and he uses Kaliya to get his ride, to go from one place to the other. So Kaliya was elevated to the position of Krishna's intimate servant. So he was doing personal service to Krishna. But yes, your point is well taken, Maharaj. Your point is well taken. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dana Pranam. The glory is to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. The class was very instructive. Prabhuji, can I know where you were in Alabama before? Now you were mentioning you were here in Alabama.
Yeah, I didn't mention
place?
the name because I didn't want. I can tell you. I don't want to give about the.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay.
But I can tell you personally. I'll message you personally.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking. Yes. That's why we never knew you were here. We were also here, and then got.
I was not in Birmingham, Mataji, but I will personally tell you.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Prabhu, for wonderful class. I like the way you answered that Prabhuji's. We should just, after chanting, we should just pray the devotees who we have a problem. It's a very nice time. Thank you, Prabhu. I'll also try this, and then please pray for me also. And then I can purify 3 things you were telling. That can you repeat, Prabhu, one time more? This 3 things you were telling.
So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Shikshashtakam, Mataji, the first verse itself, he says, the beginning only, the first effect of chanting Hare Krishna, Cheto Darpana Marjana, so purification. And Nityananda Prabhu also, Narottam Thakur also says that most important qualification to enter Vrindavan Dham, first the prerequisite is we have to purify ourselves. Narottam Thakur prays that Vishaya chadiya kabe shuddha habe mana kabe amahe rabo Shri Vrindavan. Vishaya chadiya kabe. When will I give up my attachment to all the material things? Shuddha habe mana. And when will my mind become purified? Only then will I be able to enter Shri Vrindavan. So this purification, inner purification, is our most important responsibility. We have to take it very seriously, self-purification. So first is I pray that Shuddha Habe Mana, purification, Chetodarpana Marjana. And then when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was leaving the association of all his devotees in Jagannath Puri and was going on South India Yatra, all alone, accompanied just by one servant, Krishnadas, that time he was also praying. He was saying, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Rama Raghava, Raksha Mam, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahi Mam. This is Raksha and Pahi. These 2 words, that please protect me, Raksha, and Pahi means please look after me, please maintain me. So these three things, purification, protection, and maintenance. I use these three words to pray to Krishna for devotees. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. It's so nice, Prabhu, to hear. Please pray for me also. Yeah. And we just left Alabama and then moved in new place in Midland, Texas. The devotees just pray. There is no more. It means it's a very less session here also. We can do, because this conference call is so nice. We can have a session with the devotees, all the devotees. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. I will offer my humble prayers on your behalf to Srila Prabhupada.
The Nautam Das Thakur you Prabhu just quoted, it is so elevating. It shows the paradox of exclusive nature of Krishna consciousness. Nautam Das Thakur, the purest of the pure devotee, totally absorbed in Krishna consciousness, is crying out, Vishaya Chadiya, Tabe Shuddha Habe Mana. The person whose heart is completely purified, he is crying out, when I will be fully purified. So that shows the hankering of a devotee. Nautam Das Thakur in one place also writes, Ishta aprapti moha. The moha he is describing, all this kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, they should be applied in different places in Krishna consciousness. Only envy cannot be applied, but he said that can be resolved by only appreciating other devotees. So he is describing that moha. What is moha? He is fully purified, but he is not able to see Krishna. He is not able to see Vrindavan, and that's why he is crying, because I am stuck with so many material desires. Vishaya Chadiya Kabe Shuddha Habe Mana. So the paradox is, in a fully purified state, one is crying that he is not purified. Compared to that, sometimes a sadhaka might think, I am doing this much sadhana, I am 24/7, so I have no material desires. That would be very dangerous. Because until Krishna graves our hand, until Krishna mercifully becomes the object of our vision, we have to cry. Only by crying we can attract Krishna's special favors. We can never afford to feel saturated with all the wonderful favors and fortune we received. Still, the ultimate favor is yet to come. In last Bhagavad Pravachan, as I shared, that you shared one thing very wonderful. When devotees say, I am most fallen. So when somebody claims to be most fallen, then one has to declaim many things, isn't it? It's a great thing to acknowledge that I am most fallen. That means I am ready to declaim many things. That shloka, did you go through? That Bhakti Asama Sindhu, Prabhu?
Prabhu Maharaj, I looked at Prabhupada's shloka book, and there were so many verses in the same meter that you quoted. There were at least 4 or 5 in that book. Some had a different meter, so I knew that was not the verse you quoted, but I could not pinpoint which verse it was.
It starts with Na Prema Shravanadi. So in that, Rupa Goswami is declaiming many wonderful things to be acknowledged by Krishna, that I am most fallen. That's the most amazing expression Rupa Goswami gives. In order to be appreciated, in order for Krishna to accept that Rupa Goswami is the most fallen, he is craving for the special favor, and he's very, very openly declaiming all the wonderful qualities that I don't have love, I don't have education, I don't have Satjati, I don't have this and this, but I have great hope that because you provide a special mercy to those who consider themselves very fallen. So Rupa Goswami say, I have no problem to claim that I am most fallen. Just I am ready to declaim all these so-called things which are blocking my receiving the special favor of you. So all the devotees, sadhakas, because we get so much fortune, so much blessing, so much love, we should sustain our hunger for the ultimate mercy, crying out. So all this Narottam Das Thakur's prayer, this is very crying out, and he's saying that I must be stuck with so many material desires. My heart is so impure, and that's why I'm not receiving. I'm not able to have your vision. I'm not able to enter Vrindavan. So this paradox, all the sadhakas, we must appreciate and watch out how we analyze or appraise ourselves in our consciousness. As our Krishna consciousness increases, we have to very consciously think of upgrading only Krishna in our consciousness. And the tendency to upgrade oneself has to leave. Otherwise, the ultimate will have a long journey. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you so much for enlightening us. The best part of the call today was your comments, enlightening us so nicely. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Maharaj, thank you. Hare Krishna.
I am only reminding myself, Prabhu. I am so fallen. I'm so insignificant, but just praying that I don't claim the things which even devotees and surrounding remind me that I am this and that, because I don't want to be blocked by those things. We have to cry out to Krishna's mercy as Narottam Das Thakur's prayer. This is the prayers one can recite every day. Gauranga Bolite Have Pulaka Sharira. What a beautiful expression. That's the beginning of Prarthana. You know that, Prabhu? Narottam Das Thakur has written his Prarthana, the whole collection of songs. Forever. And
Yes, Maharaj.
That is the first one.
It is one of my favorite prayers. Most favorite prayers. This prayer has everything in it.
Everything.
It has Nityananda Prabhu. It has Nityananda Prabhu. It has Yugala Piriti. It has the divine couple. It has Gauranga. It has Anartha Nivritti. It has everything. This prayer. Very, very sublime prayer.
Yeah.
Very sublime prayer. It has a six Goswami.
Narottam Das Thakur praying for Anartha Nivritti. Then what is my position? That is what makes me cry. Narottam Das Thakur, he is not making a show. He is just craving for the ultimate mercy, and he is not feeling saturated without that. He is still crying out. He is feeling so much deprived. So that sense of deprivation has to be sustained, because this is how Krishna then sees that somebody is really craving for him. Somebody is really desperate for him. Krishna loves desperation in devotees, because that is how we upgrade him in our consciousness and forget about self-upgradation like that.
Wow, Maharaj, what an amazing statement you just made. Krishna loves desperation in his devotees. I'm going to try to remember this for the rest of my life. Amazing, Prabhu, Maharaj, amazing. I'm so grateful to you. Krishna loves desperation in his devotees. Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very, very wonderful class and very nice discussion. So, thank you very much for your obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Srila Prabhupada. All glories to all the